Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. So we've been talking about how to exit toxic relationships. We started out talking about what's real when it's your intimate partner. And then we talked a little bit about what to do when the narcissist is a family member. So today we're going to talk about how do you exit or how can you exit if it's your boss that's the narcissist. So I don't think there's any perfect solution here. And let me tell you why. So many of us who work for someone else because we need the paycheck. We need to make sure that we can take care of our own lives and our families. And it's hard just to walk out of a job just because your boss is a pain in the ass. Now, let's get it straight. There are a lot of people out there not having good days or good months or good years who aren't narcissistic. They're not pathological in any way, but they still make working very difficult. And with those people, I think what we can say is oftentimes if we are able to confront in a gentle manner and, ask for our needs to be met differently, sometimes things can actually change. Whereas with the narcissist, or somebody with borderline personality or somebody who's a sociopath, the likelihood is they're not going to change. They may not even change their perception of you. They believe what they want to believe about you because it works for them. Like I always say, the other person's opinion of you has nothing to do with you. It's not your business. Except that when it's your boss, it makes a difference. So what are some of the things you can do when you believe your boss or know that your boss is a narcissist or is pathological? All right, so, if you can't leave the job, if it's really important that you keep this job while you search for another, then we've got to look at how do you work on you, because there's nothing you're going to do to make your boss change if he or she is a narcissist. So what are the things that you can do about yourself? First of all, setting boundaries is really key. And if you've been working for that narcissist long enough, you may not even remember what a boundary is. Frankly, you may have gotten into the job because you didn't know what a boundary is. And sometimes it's because we're raised in families that don't really respect boundaries or even acknowledge them. And other times we get in those relationships that sort of break us down and break us down and break us down. And then we just find ourselves without those boundaries. So the first thing is, learn to set some boundaries, even if it's simple things like coming to work on time, leaving on time, making sure you take whatever regulated break you're allowed to, and taking it for as long as you're allowed to take. Not just accepting work overtime or on the weekends. And yes, I get it. There, you could run the risk of losing the job by setting those boundaries. And if that's what happens, I'm going to tell you, it'll be a gift. Because working for a narcissist and really just disrespecting yourself and your own rights and needs, it will never end up well. Those are the kinds of things that make you sick and then make you dead. So boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Start with the small things, work up to the bigger things. Second thing is communication. Be crystal clear with that narcissist boss. If they ask a question, take a breath. Respond with the truth. Respond in details that make sense. Don't just feel the anxiety and spurt out an answer. That is not going to work for you because those words will be held against you if they're not correct. So take those moments in your communication to make sure that what comes out of your mouth is accurate and specific response to the question you're asked. In terms of communication, also really try to make sure that you're not giving more information than is asked. It's a little bit like testifying on the stand. Yes, no, I don't know. Don't over-explain something if you're not asked specifically about something. So what else can I say? When you are in that relationship with a toxic boss, You're setting those boundaries, you're communicating clearly and succinctly, and you really have to be watching yourself. Watch yourself for signs that enough is enough. Make sure that you are living a life that is your truth when you're not in the office. If you notice that you are operating the same way inside and outside the office, it's time to get some help. That's not a good sign. So whether that's getting a therapist or a coach, whether it is speaking to somebody in HR, and again, HR is there to protect the company, not you. So that's not a requirement to speak to HR, but if you want to do that, you certainly can. Taking courses even to help you remember who you are, live your truth, live out loud. And if you notice that you are not able to do that anymore, then you really need to consider whether or not it's time to simply leave that boss behind. All right, this is Dr. Sage Breslin. This is Wisdom Wednesdays. Hope you have a great day. My wisdom for the day, if you're in a toxic relationship of any kind, perhaps it's time to get out.